I'm excited for this one.
You come up with some good ones?
Mm-hmm.
Think we're gonna stay married after this one?
I've put up with you this long.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. You're watching Tubes Time. I'm Cody.
And I'm Jessie. And in today's video, we're going to be sharing 5 things that we have chosen to live with and 5 things that we can't live without.
We're gonna be putting each other in the hot seat.
We've never really shared these with one another.
The reactions that you see on our faces are gonna be genuine because we have not shared this list with each other. So let's get into it.
Unedited response.
Here we go. These are gonna be the 5 things that
I have chosen to live with
so let's see what they
that
are.
aren't my favorite.
Okay, what's the first thing?
Okay, I need to borrow your hat for this one.
What?
Can I borrow your hat?
If you're making fun of my grays, that's messed up.
No.
I got some, y'all.
Okay, the first thing that drives me crazy is Cody always has this, and this don't drive me crazy, but it's his fly swat.
Oh.
So if I'm ever talking to him and there's any bug, flying insect, what'd you say? That's what he does. What'd you say? He don't hear a word I said. If there is one bug, you can't even see it.
Before we opened the wedding venue, I pretty much never wore a hat. Whenever we started having these parties here at the barn, I started noticing flies would be coming in the building and then they would start like flying around the cake and things like that. Well, when we first opened, I was like super paranoid about everything just going absolutely flawless all the time. So when people weren't looking, I started taking my hat and I'd be killing these flies so that when people saw the cake, they wouldn't see flies flying all around their food. So it kind of became a weapon and a tool for me.
A hobby. And if I ever try to tell him anything important, it goes in one ear and out the other.
Something you do have to understand, I love this woman with everything in me, and most of the things that I put up with are just nitpicky and silly. But my very first one, I actually, despite what she might make you think, I do a lot of the dishes in the house, and something that drives me up the wall is every time I walk by the sink, there'll be like 15 rags in the sink. I'm someone who likes a wash rag and then a dry one, and then the dry one should always stay hanging on the side of the sink so it doesn't get wet. But she'll walk back behind me after I've put all those extra rags in the washing machine and then put the dry one where it stays dry, and she'll put it right back in the middle of the sink. So the next time you turn on the faucet, that adds to your wet rag collection, and then the cycle just keeps going. But something I must say is she handles 99% of all the laundry, so if it made that much extra labor on her, maybe she wouldn't do it. So I guess it's no big deal, so I just put up with it. I grab the big old handful of newly dirtied wash rags and throw them in the washing machine and let her deal with it.
So the reason there's that many wash rags is because I like to bake. And I will be like, oh, there's something hot in the oven. And I don't think, go grab a wet wash rag. So I go and grab some more dry ones.
For that, God invented this thing called oven mitts, and we have those as well. They just don't get used.
You know, we all have our flaws.
Next.
Okay. You're gonna be mad at me. We all like stories, right? A little bit. Well, Cody likes long, drawn-out stories sometimes. He likes that build-up of like the littlest things, and I'm like, get to the point now. And I just need to learn some patience, you know, virtues. I need to learn some more patience. But his stories, I'm like, sometimes it makes me miss the importance of the story he's telling me, because it's like,
I'm a very detail-oriented person.
Yeah. But
so when I tell stories, the details have to come out. My second one is an unspoken rule in pretty much every marriage, I think. Your toothbrush is your toothbrush, right? I'll go to grab my toothbrush.
No, it's not all
wet.
the time.
And I'm like, well, why is my toothbrush wet? Oh, I must have used it. And I'm like,
they look identical.
I make out with this girl. I kiss her. It shouldn't matter to me, but for some reason, it grosses me out. I don't know why it bothers me that much, but it does. So what I started doing, and it seems to help as a compromise, it's only when I slip up, I find that she accidentally uses my toothbrush. I always hide my toothbrush under the sink somewhere, and she just doesn't ever know where it's at.
Disclaimer, I have done this, and I'm a little embarrassed about it, but it never happened until we had kids. Mom brain, guys. Like, it's like, I just need some clean teeth, and I'm just grabbing something.
Why I excuse it?
I think this might be something that, like, all guys do. I don't know. This is something I learned after getting married to potty breaks. Yeah.
You went there?
Yeah, I went there. You moms, y'all don't get those, right? Like, there's no 30 minutes in the bathroom. Guys, they get potty breaks. That's enough said about
I can't believe you would go there. That's like literally below the belt. Yeah, it is.
I'm sorry.
I might have to change my answer, number 5. Number 4 is a little bit on a more serious note. It's not super funny or anything, but this woman has a completely restless mind, and sometimes it drives me crazy. End of the day, I want to sit down on the couch, either talk to her, have some intimate time with her, watch a movie with her, and the entire time she's going through the motions, but her mind is somewhere else, and I have no idea why. And then I have to always stop myself after getting aggravated about it and realize she's absolutely brilliant, and the reason why we are where we are today is mostly because of her brilliant mind, and it just never stops, and she's always thinking about the next task and things. I do tell myself that, look, you can deal with this because it just is who she is, and sometimes it will eventually go to rest and you can have a good time, but it's just not always going to be on your timing.
I heard that I'm brilliant.
She is brilliant.
You ready?
No.
This is not that bad. I know he said the thing about the rags, but I am generally very clean as far as the kitchen goes.
Yes.
And for me, that kitchen needs to be clean before we go to bed. I don't want to wake up to a dirty kitchen. I've kind of expressed this to him here recently because he likes to make the messiest dish before bed. That is his bedtime snack. The cheesy stuff, the stuff that sticks, the peanut butter. It's going in the sink and it ain't gonna be washed. And that, it's like, I see you making it like on the stove when I've already tucked the boys in. And I'm like, that dish ain't gonna be clean.
I soak it.
Just cleaned it. But anyways, he's learning.
I am.
Like he said, he's soaking.
I'm soaking things.
Some of us have a little OCD tendencies.
Yeah, about different things, but it's okay. You gotta learn to work through them. You ever been driving down the road and someone about 400 yards in front of you taps on the brakes and your wife goes, "Oh my God!" and tries to use her foot to tap the brake as well?
Not that bad though.
It is. Instead of just hitting the brake and doing my thing, it freaks me out every time she does it. You're not always super conscious on every single thing you're doing while you're driving. It just comes instinctually. So like instead of just hitting the brake and doing my thing and ignoring her, it scares me. She'll like scream and I'll be like, did I miss something? And then it'll almost get me in a wreck before, something actually jumping out in front of me would get me into a wreck. Scares the mess out of me and drives me crazy. And I usually end up snapping at her and then apologizing like 2 minutes later after I've cooled off and my heart rate goes down a little bit.
One more.
Last one. I think I can make it.
All right. So, Cody comes inside.
You already look mad.
I'm not. Well, it does make me a little upset.
Okay. All right.
It does. Okay.
I'm ready.
So like Cody will come inside and like he'll take over the kids for a few minutes. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go get something done, right? So I go in the kitchen, go in the living room, start picking up, start working on venue stuff. And immediately, like not even 2 minutes in to like what I'm doing. Hey, come see this. Callum's doing this. Asher, Jesse, come see this. I've been seeing it all day, brother.
I don't get as much time with them, so like I come in and I'm like, look how I'm standing. She's like, he's been doing that all morning and screaming, so I don't really think it's cute. Yeah. Well, I love my kids. What can I say?
I know. So it makes me feel like I don't love my kids. So I'm like,
I'm like, Jesse, look at this, and she's like, not paying any attention, and I'm like, you must not love them like I do.
That's what it makes me feel like. So I'm like, obviously,
I think they're cute.
Stop what I'm doing, and I need to go see this.
Number 5, it's not that special. It's pretty minor, actually, and it might not drive a lot of you crazy, but again, I think both of us have some OCD tendencies when it comes to certain things, and I've always been very neat whenever it comes to my electronics, and I like to perfectly roll up cord just because I know the damage that rolling up a cord really bad can do to a piece of equipment. And for that reason, we replace blow dryers and straighteners way more frequently than they should have to be if they were rolled up properly. So I'll pass by Jessie in the bathroom and her cords, they're supposed to be like 5 foot long, these cords. Well, she's like leaning over the sink because her cord's so short, because she's coiled it up so awfully because of how she wraps these cords around her appliances that she can hardly even use them. And eventually she's like, this thing doesn't work, and I really don't know why it doesn't work anymore. The heater part's not working. And I'm like, look at your cord. Like, it's probably not getting any power. You've destroyed it. After a couple of years, I just stopped really paying attention and stopped looking at her stuff altogether. And when it's time to replace it, we just go replace it. And I don't say anything anymore. I don't think.
I don't think it's ever.
Used to be something that drove me crazy though. But I do not let her, whenever it's comes time to pack up, like to go on vacation, she doesn't get to pack any of the power cords and stuff. I always pack the power cords.
Oh, I'll pack them, but you repack.
I do unpack them and repack them. These are stretches, guys. This girl is so perfect that I really couldn't hardly think of anything. With all that stuff out of the way, let's get on to some things that we cannot live without. These are things that we have noticed over the 10 years of us being married and
7 years dating.
Yeah. That these are the reasons we are together, at least some of the reasons, packed into a small package of 5 answers. So here we go.
So I want to say that finding 5 things about him that drove me crazy was actually really difficult. But this part,
I agree with that. I had a little bit of a difficult time. There were some funny ones that immediately came to mind, but for the most part, I'm like, really? Am I going to say that? It's really
so you know you're married to the right person.
Yeah.
When you can only come up with things like that. All right. So we're going to just do all mine, what I can't live without. One of the things that Cody does is he always calls me beautiful. And I know he thinks it drives me crazy because, you know, sometimes you get so used to the one person always telling you you're beautiful or something. And so it always seems to mean more when it comes from a stranger. But recently, I have been thinking about, as I'm getting older, how is that going to change one day? Like, when I'm 50, is he still going to tell me I'm beautiful? And so, like, I've really started paying attention to it, and it's made me feel really good when he tells me, you're beautiful. And so it's made me realize he's always going to think I'm beautiful, and he always reassures me of that because I can be pretty hard on myself a lot of times. And so I know he doesn't think that I always take him serious and I just brush him off. I'm like, whatever, dude.
Once you're with the right person, I mean, beauty, obviously she's gorgeous on the surface, but beauty is a whole lot more to me. I see the total package when I look at her.
Yeah. But he like tells me that with no makeup on, my hair's in a bun, I just woke up, and it's when I see myself as a total wreck, right? But he doesn't. And so it also kind of is like how Christ sees me. And so I think he lets me know that.
I'm liking this. I didn't like the first part. This is nice.
The next one is, I love how I have realized in marriage that you are a very selfless person when it comes to your family. And I've noticed it even more as you've become a dad. But something about Cody was that when we first got married, he took a job to help us create a savings to open a venue and stuff. He took a job offshore, and he was willing to make sacrifices for us to get us more financially stable. And so, like, being self-employed, I always have been worried, you know, like, what if something were to happen to our business? And I always know that he would go get a job in 2 seconds if he had to support his family, and he would lay his life down for his family any day. And that's just something I love about him. This one's a little more lighthearted. I absolutely love how you like to write music.
Oh, yeah.
Especially songs about me. And your family and your kids and Christ and everything. He's always, literally, that is something that made me fall in love with Cody. I am not musical whatsoever. I can't carry any tune, but I would go, when I was dating him, I would go over to his house. His dad and his brothers, they all are musically inclined, and just getting to hear them and listen to them play their own music and their own songs. It was just awesome. And Cody's always writing me love songs. He wrote a love song at our wedding. He's wrote love songs. Tons of love songs for me. It's just what it is at our house. There's always singing and there's always music, and I love it. This is like major like man props right here. Like, if you don't do this, men, you gotta do this, all right? Cody always helps me around the house. So like, we both look at house chores as each other's. Like, obviously I'm in the house more, so I do them more often, but they are not beneath him. He don't look at it as my responsibility. So if he has to fold clothes, if he has to do dishes, we help each other with whatever we can help each other with.
You don't notice something that drives you crazy like rags in the sink if you're not in the sink doing dishes.
That's right.
Can we do 10? I'm really liking this.
No, this is my last one. This is kind of funny because he said the thing about my mind always going yada yada yada. Something I love about Cody is that he always listens to me. Like, so I don't vent to many people, but when I gotta vent, I can talk about the same thing for days. Like if somebody or something happens, I can't get it out of my mind, so I gotta talk about it. And he's the one who listens to me, and I do really appreciate it, because if I didn't get those feelings out, I'd be like this ball of madness.
She's never like that, so I must listen really good.
All right. I feel like we're redoing our vows or something.
If you're watching this video and you're thinking, why am I even watching this? I don't know these people. I could care less about what they actually think about each other. It's kind of something just to give you an idea, maybe something you can do with your spouse. Again, these are unrehearsed. Pretty interesting to hear what she has to say, and not gonna lie, it felt pretty good to hear the second half of this challenge. You like to hear my last five? Things that I just can't live without about you?
I mean, it's obviously like everything.
Okay, we're done. So the very first one, and she kind of touched on this one with me. Again, though, these were unrehearsed. I didn't know what she was writing. But something that I absolutely love about her, and I have since day one, is her selflessness. And holy cow, since we've had kids, does that come out even more. So she thinks of everyone above herself. And I'm talking about everything from clothes shopping all the way down to getting food ready for someone. She thinks of everyone first. Whenever she does those things for me, it makes me in turn want to work even harder to do those things for her, which I think in any marriage, that's a pretty good thing to have going for each other. Your marriage is only going to grow stronger and stronger, constantly trying to be selfless for one another and make each other's lives better. So that's one thing I absolutely love about her and cannot live without that.
But just when you think you go unnoticed.
Here's an obvious one. If you've watched any of her kitchen videos, and if you have not, you need to go check them out. Maybe we'll link one. You want to link one? Sure. We'll link the latest one right here. My wife is an amazing cook. Whenever you're outside working your butt off all day, and before you even walk in the door, you smell this amazing meal coming out of the vent fan blowing out the side of the building. My God, does that make you love a woman? Yeah.
I think there's like a saying like that, like you keep a man's belly full. I don't know. There's something.
I don't know, but it works. Number 3 is this woman has a very contagious laugh. Right. So her laugh is something I live for. Now, I need to explain something in my long drawn out method of telling stories. This woman doesn't think I'm funny, ever. So I've got friends for that'll laugh at me.
Thanks for saying that.
Whenever I make her laugh, it like overjoys me. I love being able to make this woman laugh, and I'm slowly starting to figure out the things that make her laugh. It's not usually jokes. I'm not very good at telling jokes in her opinion, and things I say aren't usually that funny, but sometimes I'll catch her in the right mood and make her laugh. Her laugh makes me strive to be a better husband and do things that get her in a mood of laughter, because it just lights up my world.
What was that like? After being around each other this long, his sense of humor is growing on me.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
I don't know.
She made it sound like it's not.
Well, it does make me laugh more. So
saw that? I did that just now. Okay, so a super lighthearted one. I don't really know why. Maybe there's something wrong with me, but after working really hard out in the sun all day and sweating my butt off, my back itches a lot.
Oh gosh.
And this woman See, it's probably something that drives her crazy, but because it drives her crazy and she still does it without me even really asking most of the time, I love her back scratches. No matter where we are, what we're doing, this woman keeps me from looking like a grizzly bear scratching his back on a tree or a post or something.
And he will, though. Like, if he goes to your house, he will find a corner.
I'm thinking that's why she does it, because she doesn't want me to look like an idiot in front of anyone. She scratches my back and hits all the right spots and doesn't stop until I'm like, thanks, babe, that was nice.
That was so funny. You're not even gonna laugh.
I was moving on to the next one. I didn't even get her hilarious joke. She got my back. I think the final thing, again, I could go on all day with this side of the list. It's pretty easy, and she knows, yeah. The final thing on my list is she really cares about her appearance. I've seen some women in certain relationships that seem to get married and kind of give up. No offense, she doesn't. And what I mean by that is not that she tries to kill herself in the gym. It's not that she loads her face up with makeup or anything, but it's that she always does take the extra time every single day, whether it's a cute outfit, cute ball cap on her head, cute braids. She has the best hairstyles of any woman I've ever seen. She always does take the time to look extra good for me every single day. Maybe it's more for herself, I don't really know, but I like it, and that's one of the physical things I guess I'd say that I absolutely love about her. She's gorgeous.
I'm really thinking about not getting ready anymore.
Now I gotta keep getting ready.
Another 20 years of this.
If I keep boasting about it, she'll just have to keep doing it.
So long, yoga pants.
Thank you guys so much for working through that with us. We had such a wonderful time with this couples challenge, and hopefully it inspires you, not necessarily on camera, but to do this with your spouse, because it was actually really fun, a little eye-opening. So you guys need to try this out with your significant other and see what kind of lists they can come up with.
Oh,
God bless you guys. We will see you on the next one.